This is Life's a Pitch TV. Main sponsor, DPS Tech. Also supported by Lackens, all about hearing. Forward Floors, Ginger Pickle, Fred Olsen Logistics, The Dove, Segford Golf Club, Ashford Wright, John Keeble Cars, Venue 16, The Hudson Group, Come Hither Design, Sound 4 Pro Audio, and Suffolk Sound. Our charities this year, Cancer Support Suffolk and the Ipswich Town Community Foundation. We should just do a show like that, shouldn't we, for an hour? Chamber, that was brilliant conducting. Fantastic conducting. Marvellous. Welcome to the DPS Tech Arena. I'm your host, Mark Murphy. Let me introduce you to the team. Terry Butcher! Hey! Russell Osman! Hey! And Chamber! Plus on technicals tonight, we have got John and we have got Richard in the little booth. Hey! And we've got Sarah and Leslie, who are our floor managers as well. Plus, the Churchman stand, sponsored by John Keeble Cars. Hey! The North stand, sponsored by Ashford Wright. Hey! Brilliant. We need a special guest as well this week. He's part of the team that won the FA Cup back in 1978. Give a massive Life's a Pitch welcome to Mick Lambert. Hey! Welcome to the show, Mick. Welcome, welcome. How long has it taken us to get you here?
A few years.
A few years. We've asked regularly, boys, haven't we?
Have we?
Yes, we have.
But said he didn't want me.
No, I did. It was a black ball for me.
Every players' reunion we've asked you, my goodness, but we've got you here. Fantastic. Really good to see you. Before we talk about the town team, the male team, I just want to have a moment to say well done to the women's team, winning 11-0. 11-0. We've got one of the capacity crowd chanting champions. Not quite yet. It's going to be one hell of a mathematical thing if they don't. They are pretty much champions, but fantastic season for them. And winning 11-0 against any opposition butch is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, they've been under pressure, the last few years because the town team are getting promotion, the men's team. So they've been under that pressure, but they've certainly risen to that. Certainly playing good football, winning games, and it's another test up into the championship. So we obviously want them to be in the top division like the men's team, and it would be a nice double to have. But yeah, fair credit to them; they've done very well. And Joe Sheehan, wow, what a manager!
Yeah.
And a hat trick for Pesky in both roles.
All right, we can't hear you. You're not on the microphone. Shush. What do you think, Russell? You're not at Portman Road now.
No, they've done terrific. I mean, I like Joe Sheehan. He's a great fella. I like the way he goes about his business. And the girls have done very, very well. They've just kept going and they've just kept on the straight and narrow. Not been distracted by anything. They're just getting the job done. Yeah. Slowly but surely they're getting there.
Yeah,
it's great stuff.
They're there all bar the counting. Yeah. Chamber, what do you make of it? Fantastic season.
Brilliant, yeah. And it comes from investing in the girls and the women's football properly and giving them an opportunity and a platform, which I think the club have done really, really well. They've took the opportunity with both hands, and pressure is a privilege that they're now playing in those opportunities and getting themselves promoted. So couldn't be happier for them. It's absolutely fantastic.
Brilliant. Well, we wish them all the very best. Not quite over the line, but they are over the line, if that makes sense. But well done to them. Absolutely brilliant. And can I just say also as well that you can now book for our end of season dinner, which is on the 14th of May. That's at Venue 16, as always. Who's been before? Yeah. Who's coming again? Yeah. Oh, actually fantastic. So you can do that right now. Go to www.lifesapitch.tv and you can book yourself into our end of season bash in the Giant Willow Suite at Venue 16. Right, Mick Lambert, welcome to the show.
Good evening.
How often do you get a chance to watch Town these days?
Most of the home games. I have been away a couple of times, so I've missed some, but That's been quite good.
It's been nice to see us back in the Premier League again,
Yeah.
hasn't it?
Yeah.
We'll
We're
talk
not-
perhaps about
I think
Arsenal.
we got up just 1 year too quick.
Yeah, could be right. Yeah, 1 or 2 years too quick. We'll talk about Arsenal, our next opponents, later on. Of course, you've got a very memorable game to talk about when it comes to Arsenal. But the result, Russ, against Chelsea, you were there, weren't you?
I was there. Yeah.
Nice day out.
I had a fantastic day out, actually. Yeah, really,
I
really
saw some of
good.
the pictures.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, my God.
By mistake, or?
Well, you know, once a journalist, always a journalist.
You know the best thing about it?
Go on.
You sit down and you have something to eat before the game, and leading up to half-time, I had a bit of a thirst quencher, so I was like halfway through a pint of lager. Nipped out to watch the first 45 minutes. And when you come back in at half-time, they've replaced your old half of lager with a fresh pint.
Ah.
Bloody fantastic. And they do that the same at the end of the game, and it's really good. Red wine was nice. I bumped into some great lads there. Tommy Langley, you remember Tommy Langley, who I'd not seen for, Christ, 40-odd years. Dave Lee, who's a very good friend of mine, he told me a great story. He's just had a triple heart bypass. Dave Lee has at 55. Cost him 25 grand. And Chelsea picked the bill up.
Oh, wow.
And he's not an international player. He's not one of the big name players or anything like that. But he said that, you know, they just stepped forward and one of their lads, they have a player liaison officer. And I spoke to the club secretary, David Barnard, used to be at Colchester years ago. He's still the club secretary or the company secretary at Chelsea. And he said, no, that's our policy. And, you know, it's something that we've always done and we always will do. You know, so hands up to Chelsea there. That's different class.
I'm not going to go through a triple bypass to see if they're going to pay my bill, Ipswich Town. I'll tell you that. No chance. Yeah, but I mean, that is because you text me and I couldn't believe it. I thought, well, I wonder if our club would do that. But obviously,
Don't try and find out.
No, don't try and find out.
Don't try and find out.
I'll settle for me pacemaker.
Yeah. What did you make of the game, though, Russ?
I thought we struggled a bit first half, but you know we got into their 18-yard box twice and scored twice. So, you know, at half time I was pleasantly surprised. And because my lager had been topped up again, I was a little bit slow getting to my seat for the start of the second half and didn't realise
that an age thing, was
it
it?
was 2-1. Yeah. And missed the first 13 seconds apparently, and we conceded a goal in that time. Which is disappointing because the crowd are a bit volatile at Chelsea, you know, and they were giving the keeper a bit of stick and the back four for playing out from the back and being a bit slow in the build-up. And obviously going 2-0 down in the first half, you thought if we could come out and sort of get hold of the second half quickly, then the crowd will just turn, you know, and they were half turned anyway by half time. But we'll let them back in the game, and that's the way it goes sometimes.
Jambo, 2-2, Chelsea. Can we play them every week? Would be nice, wouldn't it? 4
It
points
seems
out
to be
of
the way.
6.
I didn't actually watch the game, Mark. I was at Wembley
Ah, okay.
watching the EFL Trophy game.
Yep.
So I've only seen the goals. So in terms of my input this week, it'll be very minimal.
Still greatly received, though, Jambo.
There you go. Honesty is key, right? Butch?
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, but I think that goal just after half time, it really let them in, as Russell said, very, very early, and that just lifted everybody. So had we, you know, when you go out and you're 2-0 up, you don't want to give them anything. And I mean, the goal itself was a good goal in terms of how they got to the byline and then crossed the ball, a bit like you, Lemmy, when you get to the byline. Well, not now, but you know when you play. And a Zimmer frame would be good. No, but then I thought they defended really well in the second half. The first half, yeah, I mean, didn't play particularly well, but got the break and were ruthless, which is great to see the team. But after that, then, I mean, the more the game went on and it was 2-2, the more anyone could score.
Yeah.
First half, we had good chances to score.
First half, we defended really well because we had to deal with probably 30 crosses coming in, you know, and the lads dealt with that very well. The keeper played exceptionally well again. You know, and it's just a shame that we give away a silly goal right at the start of the second half. And then we allow Sancho all the time in the world just to pick his spot and hang one in the top corner. And that's just come down for somebody's lack of concentration.
But it had to be a great goal to beat Palmer because he was in great form.
He made some
Had a
great
great game,
saves.
didn't he?
Yeah, he did
really
a great
good.
game, brilliant game. And when he hit it, as soon as he hit it, it was like, wow, that's in the back of the net. And it was a good job there was a net there because it would have killed a spectator, I think. But it was just brilliant play. You have to hold your hands up to that, although you'd say get out quicker. But they defended really well. And it sort of, I was looking at it, I'm thinking after the game, well, if we do get back to the Premier League, can we say to the authorities, you can scrap our home games, we'll play every game away from home because we're much better to play. And I thought, well, they can do this because they are better away from home and they still have a point to prove to people that we are a good team, and they are a good team. So, yeah, it was great to see. Disappointing we didn't win, but we could have lost it as well.
Yeah, and Mick, so many games we've been there or thereabouts, haven't we?
Yes, we just seem to run out of steam in the last few minutes sometimes. Whether that's fitness or concentration, I wouldn't know, but that seems a bit odd that we lose so many points at the end of a game.
I mean, particularly in the last couple of years when the substitutions have come on and made all the difference, haven't they?
Yep.
Just hasn't happened
definitely.
quite so much this time.
No, that's right.
Yeah, but the squad isn't as strong as all the other, a lot of the other teams in the league because they've had years of preparation and playing in the Premier League and years of that money. So for what they've done this season, I think they've been very good. They've been very good. And I think they deserve a pat on the back and sometimes a slap on the face when they give away such stupid goals. But no, it's been enjoyable and it only whets the appetite for getting back up there quicker and getting up there and being back and saying, right, well, we can prove more of a point now.
Yeah, they can certainly compete at this level. It's just we haven't quite had enough quality in the squad and making changes for us to go on and win games late on. And I think with another year or two of that, with this more solid base, with further investment, we're going to be there. But listen, the games we've had, the performances we've had, it's going to be one hell of a season next season. And if you haven't got a season ticket or if you're thinking of giving it up, do not.
And Mick, when you played, of course, you had small squads as well. Do you think those teams perhaps could have won more? We've talked to the boys about this before. With a slightly bigger squad, do you think you'd have had more stars on the shirts?
Really, we only had about 14 players, and then we had all the youngsters coming up behind.
Yeah, that was
But
right.
we
though,
did.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, about 14.
Should have got rid of you old guys earlier, shouldn't we?
Yeah, but we were only 14.
Someone was talking to me about the academy the other day, talking about youngsters. Where are the kids coming through at the moment? What's going on? Do we know? There's no one knocking on the door at the moment, is there?
Can't hear anybody.
Well, there's some out loan. I mean, Cameron Humphreys is out on loan anyway.
Yeah.
And I think he'll come back next year and make, he has done enough in the Championship to claim probably a regular spot in the actual first team squad. So, yeah, but it's difficult. And you look at when Forest went up and the amount of players they brought in as well. Sometimes you've got to go think short term. You've just got to go bite the bullet, spend the money, and then hope that you can survive to actually give the younger players a base to come through and a pathway to come through.
But it doesn't seem like you're allowed to spend enough money to accumulate a quad that's going to keep you in the Premier League at the moment. We would have had to spend probably 350 million.
What was it? 100 million, just over 100 million.
120, I think. Was it?
120 million. When you look at the amount that a lot of the teams, the Bournemouths and the Brentfords and all these teams coming up, have spent over the last 4 to 5 years, it's a considerable amount of money. Whereas we've only had 120, and some more money last year in the Championship. So you look at the balance of the squads, and the squads ours cost a lot less. Therefore, it's less quality. Therefore, it's less experience.
But you still do see in some of the big teams, the youngsters still coming through.
I just think it's everything's happened so quick. The first thing, the takeover happened, the money came in, we are going to get promoted, and everything that was important about getting promoted was the first team, and that was the main focus. But I know personally that there has been a large investment into the academy and signing players from all over the country, all over Europe, I think, lads from Ireland, etc., and they are really trying to bolster that now to move into that sustainable model. I think because it's happened so quickly, within 2 or 3 years we're in the Premier League, it's very, very difficult to turn that conveyor belt on as quickly as they have to get out of the Premier League. So I certainly know they're signing players left, right and centre for the under-23s, under-21s, under-18s, and probably even younger now as well. So I think once you get to the Premier League, that's when you have to then start investing even more. So I think the speed at which we've got promoted has just, the two haven't gone quite hand in hand. So I'm sure that will come.
Think that will happen?
Yeah, it has to happen because they have made it very, very clear that's what they want to invest in as well. The initial investment plan was get promoted with the first team. So you can't have it all at the end of the day, but I know they have put a significant amount of money into the younger players.
How much would we've been allowed to spend? Because otherwise we'd be in that situation with the fair play thing or whatever it is.
I think we've spent as the max, I think,
Yeah.
that
So
we're
they mu-
allowed.
That's the point I'm trying to make, you know. But, you know, for the 3 clubs to get promoted and spend, they can't spend enough. They're not allowed to spend enough to keep them in the Premier League.
Well, that's just not
so
fair,
they're going
is it?
straight up
No,
and straight
the top
back
two
down again.
stitched it up,
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
so that they can't spend it.
Oh, and it shows that, doesn't it? The last, we know the 3 teams, don't we, that are going to go down. It's not happened yet, but it will happen. Same as last year. So something's got to happen to even that up, hasn't it? Surely.
Well, they'll certainly be
Should do.
discussing it, won't
Yeah.
they? They'll definitely. And even the teams that are now going to come up from the Championship, I don't hold much hope for them either. It's going to be very, very difficult because the teams have always now got that recurring income to keep investing, and they can just chuck 100 million quid every summer, whereas the teams coming up, that 100 million, like you say, you need 300. So the silly numbers that you're talking about, but it's just not an easy fix. It's not, unless...
If you don't come straight back up from your relegation from the Premier League and you miss a year, it's going to cost you a lot of money, and then you're back to square one again.
So really, you're looking at probably a 5 to 6 span of going up and coming down and going up and coming down before you've got that solidity and that platform there to stay there. And that's what a lot of teams have done.
Well, Burnley did that, didn't they? They did 2 or 3 relegations, promotions.
Absolutely.
Then solidified themselves for a few years, and then again, it's very difficult to maintain. That's why there's billionaire owners everywhere in the teams that are being successful, because you need that to some Chelsea giving out 10-year contracts to try and mitigate these new rules.
But the point about the ownership, Abramovich wrote off a £1.2 billion debt for Chelsea. It's not bad, is it?
Not bad, no. But where's he now? So,
And they're still crap as well.
Yeah.
So there we are.
Well, we got 4 points out of 6, didn't we? So,
Well,
not
that's what
that
I mean.
great.
They're crap. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Right, it's time for this week's Life's a Pitch TV Player of the Week, sponsored by the Dove in Ipswich. As you were there, Russell, you can start.
Alex Palmer.
Alex Palmer.
Yeah.
Okay. Keeper.
Very, very good. Yeah.
Okay. It's been a good signing, hasn't he?
It has been a good signing, and he lets people know that he's going to come and get involved. He comes for crosses. He'll have a go at people. He'll keep them on their toes. All round, I think he's a decent keeper. Very pleased with him.
Okay. Chambo?
Alex Palmer.
Okay.
Everyone was nodding, so I'll agree with him.
That's the gauge, is it?
There we go.
Yeah.
Terry?
Crowd pleaser.
Alex Palmer.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. Mick?
Alex Palmer.
Excellent. Full house. Alex Palmer, our Player of the Week. Let's talk about you, Mick, and your time at Town. How did you arrive at Town?
In a car, wasn't it, normally?
Oh, do I ask that question every week, and you always answer the same?
Yeah, but you just give it to him, just knock it out of the park.
No,
you
I'm
know,
just going to have to
unbelievable.
reword my questions. Who brought you? Don't say someone drove me in a car.
I got the bus.
Who signed you?
Reg Tyrrell was the what do you call him? The one that picks you up.
Well, what, the scout? Chief
Scout, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the scout. And they came to watch me play at Stowmarket in the Chiltern League, which it was then, and scored a couple of goals. And then they asked me to come down on the Saturday, played against Crystal Palace, and then on the Tuesday they said, "Can you come again? Because we're playing West Ham in the Southern Junior Floodlit final," and I scored. So that went on from there.
That's how it all started. Yeah. A bit different now, Chamber. You're laughing at that.
It's just mad, isn't it? Like, you're playing one week, like on a Tuesday, and then 4 days later you're playing for Ipswich Town against Crystal Palace. It just wouldn't happen now, would it? It's just crazy.
But you were also a good cricketer.
Yeah, not too bad.
So was there a choice between football and cricket?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
I was at Lord's ground staff, and I'd played once for the first team, and I was actually playing cricket at the University of London on a Friday, and somebody came running on the pitch and said, "You've got to come off." I said, "Why?" They said, "You're playing tomorrow." So I came off, played against Leicester, scored a goal, put them in the second division, and that went from there as well. I hadn't trained for a month.
Is it true that these are true? I don't believe Wikipedia, but I'm going to ask the question anyway.
Some of that's not right, that's for sure.
Well, let's ask you.
I haven't been to Durban, wherever that I played for.
Did you meet Muhammad Ali in the Windies
Yes.
dressing room? You did?
Yes.
Okay, tell us how that happened then.
Yeah. Well, I was the best fielder on the ground staff was put to be 12th man for England, if the 12th man had already gone on, as you might say.
You were the best fielder.
Not too shabby.
Must have been close in, yeah.
I've lost my thread now. No, but anyway, basically you took the drinks out onto the pitch, or you took things in for the West Indies dressing room, and in there was Muhammad Ali, so he was their guest, which was handy, so I met him. So that was quite good. I also fielded for Gary Sobers. He was captain of Nottinghamshire, so I met one or two.
Did you have a choice then between cricket or football?
Yeah, I got a letter. I was sort of playing for Essex and Middlesex seconds off the ground staff, and then I got a letter saying we want you back for pre-season. So I had two choices then. So I thought, oh, I'll go back. See what happens.
Because in those days you could be used to get money for being a cricketer in the summer, and then in the winter for football as well.
If you could count that as money.
All right, yeah.
I'll tell you what, I was on 5 shillings and 5 shillings, I think it was. £5 and 1 shilling, that's right. To be on the Lord's ground staff. And the digs was £4, 8 and 6. That's how good it was.
So you made the right choice.
Yeah, so that was 30 quid a week in the first team.
So who were the other players around you at Ipswich Town when you broke into the first team? Who was there?
I don't know if Trevor got in the team then. I can't remember. Hunter, Beattie. Well, Beat came in just sort of after we started. Jules Burley, Mickey Mills, Colin Fieldjohn, Brian Hamilton came. Who else we have? Laurie was there. Yeah, he was one of the 3 apprentices. It was him, Keith Hymas and Bobby Bell, I think. But I was actually, they weren't allowed more than 3 apprentices, so I was put down as a groundsman. That's probably where I should have stayed, but there you go.
You can't believe this, Chambo, can you?
I'm strapped in now.
So what was it like then? I mean, you obviously had the training ground, which is the fan zone now, didn't you, to do all your training and everything on? And
Well, it seemed normal to us.
yeah, didn't know any
We had a
different.
gym at the top. I don't suppose that's still there.
TV studio now, I think, isn't it? Where the TV studio is in the old gym, is it?
Not been in yet.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Okay.
Half is a storeroom and half is a studio. Isn't
Oh,
it?
right. Yeah, so everything was there. I don't know what else you need, to be honest.
Yeah, true. What were Big Al and Beattie like in those days, in their early days?
Well, I had a little fag occasionally at the back. Hunter used to have a little whiskey just before the match as well, just to calm his nerves.
You were.
I think that should be a thing, you know.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
The nerves I've seen on some people in those dressing rooms.
We thoroughly recommend it.
Yeah, have a little
Absolutely,
shot,
absolutely.
fellas.
100% here.
Yeah.
Unanimous.
Warm on a cold day, wouldn't it? Warm you up a bit as well.
Yeah.
Brian Clough gave him, I think it was a Mackerson or a Guinness, on the bus on the way down Wembley Way, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
But they used to prescribe Mackerson, didn't they, in the hospitals? They deliver Mackerson to
Iron,
hospitals.
wasn't it?
Yeah. Fantastic.
Bottle of
And those
Mackerson.
early days, then, what was it like when you were out running on the field for Town?
Well, we had bigger crowds, didn't we?
Yeah.
All standing, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, we were playing at a level that we really probably, certainly when I first started, we were quite good, same as it is now, but we managed to survive it. Whereas, and once you have survived, we were all, well, most of us were only about 19. So if you can survive that bit, you can carry on. Whereas now, they've just failed, I suppose.
And Bobby was really good at just sort of tweaking the team, wasn't he? Bringing one or two players in, players coming through.
I think he bought 13 in 13 years, didn't he?
Something like that, yeah.
It's quite amazing, really. Yeah. But he was lucky because he had 2 lots of, like, you were the second lot, weren't you? And 2 lots of youngsters that proved to be good enough.
Yeah.
Just a
George
bit.
and Walker squeeze a bit. But I remember, like, when I first got into the senior team, like the first team, I just remember our pre-match meals, like fillet steak or Dover sole.
Yeah.
Bloody lovely it was. Saturday at 12 o'clock. Just where you'd have a proper meal. Best meal of the week.
The first
that's
thing
what it was, wasn't it?
was Paul Marin, I think. He used to have cornflakes with peaches on top.
Did he?
Yeah. Couldn't believe that.
Mariner, cornflakes and peaches.
Tinned. No, tinned. Yeah, they were tinned, yeah.
Did he really? Yeah, well.
I wonder what the nutritionist would make of that now.
Yeah. So what did you have?
Well, we definitely had fillet steak.
Yeah.
Especially in the reserves. That was good. We went on the train to Plymouth or somewhere. Nice fillet steak.
Was that not heavy on your stomach when you were playing football?
Yeah, but that was,
of course it was, yeah.
that was the only choice. That was the only choice. Is like,
But I would say that it was worse if you had fish. They started to pull that one in as well.
Right.
Which will give you indigestion if you weren't careful.
So what? Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to. So what was what was it like on a Saturday pre-match and the build-up to the game? Then tell us about that.
smelly.
Okay.
Basically, you met up. Well, certainly we used to go at the centre spot at 12 o'clock. Meet there.
Right.
Didn't train in the morning or anything. Did you?
No.
So you'd meet there, have your meal, and then just walk through the ground.
Yeah.
Change room stuff. Yeah.
Have a quick pint with the chairman if you bumped into him on the way through. Yeah.
Then we used to go in the players' lounge and we used to ring up and have a bet. And what's the racing at 1:30?
You were still there. You were still there at 2:30, weren't you?
10 to 2, 10 to 3.
10 to 3. Yeah, and Bobby used to come in and just say, "Get that lot in there." And just come in there, and it's time to get ready. It was about 10-2, and they would all pile in. There was quite a few, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Gatesy and Coops and all these. Alan Brazil.
I guess it's a good way of kind of relaxing before a game, isn't it?
Yeah. One game we had that probably cost us the league. We were playing Luton, and you know who was involved with Luton? Eric Morecambe turns up, and he's in the dressing room at about 2:45, making everybody just laugh all the time. And we lost 1-0, Boxing Day, I think it was. And it cost us the blooming league.
He was a secret weapon then, he probably did that, yeah.
Well, hey.
You could do the glasses as well, Russ, if you want. No. How does that compare, Chamber, with what the team are doing now? Because they meet up at the training ground, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They'll be having their a la carte, whatever they want, really. Whatever they've been prescribed on their meal plans and their dietitians and whatever. Yeah, prescribed is probably the right word as well. Yeah, it's so different, isn't it? It's just night and day. Just can't even fathom it. Obviously, I'm a little giggle, but I'd have loved a fillet steak before a game. Really unbelievable. I didn't run much, did I? So
What was your
alright.
choice?
I was just scrambled egg and beans on toast.
Yeah.
So it's definitely smelly dressing room.
Yeah. Afterwards, yeah.
I've got to tell you a quick story about pre-match lunch. Steve Walsh signed for Leicester City from Wigan, and the manager puts the team sheet up, and we used to meet at a hotel in town for pre-match around about 12 o'clock as well. So everybody's organised, they're going to meet there, and we all turn up on Saturday morning for the pre-match and everything in the middle of Leicester. No sign of Steve Walsh. Nobody's heard from him, nobody can get hold of him on the phone or anything like that. So we all have pre-match, make our way down to Filbert Street 1:30, and Walsh is sitting there in the changing room. And Walsh, where were you for pre-match, for lunch? Oh, he said, I had mine at 12:30 in the Post House Hotel and everything like that. He said, "Where were you lot?" He said, "Well, you were supposed to be at the Thistle Hotel just round the corner." And he'd sat there and had his own pre-match and paid for it himself, all on his own.
Bless him.
Good initiative.
Good initiative, but he was...
Did not realise no one else was there.
No.
There weren't mobile phones on there, was there?
No,
No
true.
mobile phones.
No, it's very true.
I sent
There
a
wasn't
pigeon
a
around the
light on
corner.
there at the
I
top
still haven't
deck.
got one.
Don't surprise me, that.
No wonder it's taken us 2 years to get you on the show. Crikey.
To have one, Mick, you've got to actually pay for it. Yeah, I know, we know what you're like. Yeah.
So during the 70s then, obviously, we talked about Bobby's recruitment. And the team, the players, the team, were so close on so many occasions, weren't they?
Yeah.
Amazingly close.
75, he had a fair chance of getting the double, really, and lost in that. Well, I think it was 74, 75, when we lost to West Ham in the semi-final.
75, yeah.
That was disgraceful. I mean, the referee gives two decisions that are unbelievable. He'd given an offside that the linesman hadn't flagged for, and he gave, I think he gave handball against Brian Hamilton, who's just hit it on his thigh and scored, and you couldn't make it up. But he wanted that Thomas, his name was, and
Clive Thomas.
he just wanted to
Hang on
be
a
on
second.
the.
We
he
boo when we
wanted to
say
be
Clive
everywhere.
Thomas.
Yeah,
Thank you.
disgraceful. And poor old Brian did the same thing for Everton the next year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, same
Unbelievable.
ref. Yep, same thing.
But it was great for the fans to watch, and the European nights and everything.
Yeah.
It was a great era. Bobby had built that team up from the 60s through the 70s, and he'd built it up to the 75 and then 76, obviously, and then the build up towards the team build up towards the cup final as well. So he was a very astute man, and with the squad that he had, the players wanted to play for him. But he was not as much lucky with injuries. The boys just played through a lot of injuries. There was
cortisone in the ankle was the regular.
Yeah, cortisones. But there was no real physio treatment, was there?
No, bucket of water.
Yeah,
Best of luck.
and a sponge. Yeah, and a
So it
sponge.
really was just a sponge and a bucket of...
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that got placed everywhere. If you got a groin or injury, that was it. Straight up the shorts.
Happy days, Butch.
Happy days. Well, not really. If you received that, it was horrible. It made you get up and go and
Talking
play.
about buckets of water, Cyril Lee I was sub that day, and Cyril Lee sat next to me, and Notts Forest we were playing, and them days the manager used to have to sit in more or less in that little cubby hole bit, and twice Clough got out, and Cyril Lee picked the bucket up, and he said, "Next time, you're getting it." He said, "Don't get out again." He never did it. He never got out no more.
He was quite an enforcer, wasn't he, Cyril Lee?
He was tough. Yeah. He wasn't big, but he was tough, wasn't he? We've actually heard about his what can you say? Not exploration, but when he Clive Woods,
yeah.
He picked him up by the
Oh,
crown
right.
Short
jewels,
curlies.
Okay.
He literally picked him up. Yeah. Unbelievably, Clive's voice changed.
Forever.
That's stuck in players' minds. You don't mess with Clive. You don't mess with Cyril.
Did you ever think, though, as players, did you ever think, look, this is never going to happen? We're never going to win anything?
No, not really.
You always hoped and thought that you'd got it in you to win the trophy.
Well, I think, obviously, for me, my most famous matches were at Real Madrid, and if you can beat them in a two-leg thing, you've got a fair chance of beating most other people. So that's how we looked at it.
Yeah. I think sometimes we overlook that era that you mentioned through the 70s European games because we focus on when you won the UEFA Cup.
Yeah.
But yeah, some tremendous victories against some big teams.
Yeah. I mean, the Real Madrid, we won 1-0 at home, and everybody said we got no chance. And we did actually score over there. The ball hit the bar, and it must have been a good yard in, but you weren't going to get that given you.
That's not enough, is it?
No, you
yard is not enough.
did at least hit the back net. And
was
the game against Lazio, that was quite amazing.
Well, tell us that then. Tell us about that.
We won, I think it was 4-0 at home, and then we lost. Did we lose 4-2 over there? But when they came out, I had a bit of an injury, so I'm sat on the bench So
You weren't sub again, were you?
no, I was injured then.
Okay.
But anyway, the bloke I was marking got dropped. Who was marking me got dropped, and as he's walking by before the game, he spits at me, and I ducked. And poor old Laurie got it in the face. And it went from bad to worse. They scored a goal early, and that was then chaos. And then I think it was Trevor ran the whole length of the field to get behind the goalkeeper. I think it was David Best, and with the centre half chasing him. There's no ball, and they're on God knows what. Their eyes were coming out their head. I've never seen anything like it. And there was a picture the next day, and I would have said this was impossible, but there was a picture in the paper of a bloke with his arm through wire glass. Is that possible? I mean, wire glass is just so tough, it's incredible. And this bloke is trying to hit somebody, and he's gone right through the glass with his fist.
Was that the fieriest game you ever had then?
Yeah,
Think?
I mean, the poor old doctor. That was his first away game. Jabber Jackson, they call him.
Jabber.
If in doubt, jab him with a nice needle.
Bloody did do as well, didn't he?
I got a headache. Jab it. Just jab it.
So we had to run for it in the tunnel. But it was just horrendous.
Yeah.
They were swinging punches and I don't know what else. And then there's a tiny little tap on the door and it's locked. And there's the doctor trying to get in, and he's virtually green. He was terrified. And we finished up having to go outside, more or less outside of Rome, just to get a meal, because they didn't go back to the hotel. They were going to wreck it. So that was, the whole game was like that, because you've never seen nothing like it.
Unbelievable. Did you have any roughly toughy ones like that in boys in your time?
Well, Millwall, we had the Millwall game, didn't we?
Millwall, yeah.
Millwall, we had to leave the pitch twice, 3 times, something like that. I was playing alongside Big Al Hunter, so...
Oh, you were okay then?
I was okay, yeah.
I nearly got strangled. I went to take a throw in.
Throwing lumps of concrete coming on the pitch and all sorts, yeah.
Yeah,
That
they
was pretty
smashed the coaches up, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because the crowd obviously are that close then, are they, to you? On the,
Oh, yeah.
The old den. Blimey.
bad.
Cup final season. You know, Rush, you played in 4 of those games?
Yeah.
4 of those games. Obviously, you know, every year you set out to try and win something. Did you feel at any point that this could be your year?
Well, I didn't play a lot, to be honest.
I played more than him and
He
he got a
played more
medal.
than I did.
Not that you're bitter.
I didn't. I've got to let it go one day, Mark. Don't worry.
Twisted.
Bitter and very.
Did you feel as a squad that
I thought when we were in the dressing room, I don't know why, but everybody seemed to know they were going to win. I don't know how that works, but that's how it felt.
At Wembley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, I don't know about nerves, but I only had nerves when I had my suit on when we walked out. But you don't have the nerves when you come out dressed, I think, ready for your job, if you like.
What was it like when you won the semi-final, though? Bearing in mind what had happened with Clive Thomas. Clive Thomas? Thank you. Where was I going? What was I going to say?
Semi-final.
When you'd won the semi-final, knowing that you were going to Wembley, what was that feeling like? You'd actually got there.
Yeah, I think that was more relief than anything, because I do remember the one before when we'd lost, and there was quite a few people crying on the bus, if you like, especially David Johnson. I remember specifically. Yeah. But I mean, then you're sort of there, aren't you? So you don't have to celebrate that so much. That's the next thing now.
Yeah. And everybody after tickets to get to Wembley?
Yeah, there was a few about. Stan Flashman was running around as well.
Yeah.
And when did you know that you were going to play? Because there are all sorts of stories about what Bobby wanted as a lineup, player revolts, all this kind of stuff going on the week before.
I was never actually told.
Okay.
That's the truth. Are you?
No.
No. That all I knew was he told me a week before that I'd be sub, and that was the last I heard about it. And I'd got to play in the reserves just to keep tuned over. And when that morning after your breakfast, there was chairs all laid out, and your name was on it. And that's the first time I knew. Nobody told me.
But you must have been so relieved when you obviously were told that there was sub, and then the boys went out there. You came on for Roger, and the boys won it because you had your testimonial about 2-3 days later.
I know, but the only difference with that is that we also had Wolves to play.
Yeah.
In between.
Yes, that's right.
My testimonial was actually on the Monday, and we were all drunk on Sunday.
Yeah.
And we had a testimonial on the Monday and played Wolves on the Tuesday.
Yeah, they were still drunk, weren't they, for Tuesday? Yeah, because I remember that was my home debut. So, thanks very much for that. That was great. Yeah, well done.
What was the score, Bush?
We lost 2-1. Yeah. But thanks for asking that.
That didn't matter. We won our testimonial game.
Oh, yeah, great. Yeah, I was really pleased. Win the game and no bonus. But there we are. And thanks very much for the gift you gave us for playing in that.
I did.
You didn't.
I did.
Did you?
We got a decanter, didn't we?
I did. Yeah.
Decanter.
Decanter.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you not
You've
get one?
thrown
Butch?
it away, haven't you?
I probably did, yeah. No, of course, I would never do that. I would never do that, no.
Just going back to Wembley for a moment, so I just want to milk that with you a bit. You said that you were the most nervous was when you walked out with the suit on.
Yeah.
And you saw all the crowd. What was that like?
Well, it seemed to be 2/3 Ipswich, 1/3 Arsenal. I think everybody that wasn't an Arsenal supporter wanted us to win. Because they're the big old hams and we're just the little fellas.
I thought we were jacket and blazer. Trousers and blazer.
Grey suit, wasn't it? I think.
Is it?
I probably still got it.
Probably have, yeah.
I'm probably still wearing
There's
it.
a
I'm
picture
so
there.
thin.
What am I wearing in the
Oh, you've got
grey
a jacket
top?
on,
Yeah,
It's grey, isn't it?
yeah, and dark trousers. I think.
Yeah,
He was kitted out.
Yeah,
for
Basil
it.
Brush. What's this all about, Basil Brush?
Don't know, just a mascot. Somebody said he'd been to all the games, and
We need Basil Brush back, don't we? You know, maybe we would have done better if we'd have had Basil Brush with us this season.
last seen being taken off somewhere by Paul Cooper.
All right, best not to mention any more of that then. And of course you came on, didn't you?
Yeah, but it was about 20 minutes, I think. But they had one shot, didn't they? That's all they had. That's McDonald had a shot when I was on there. That's the only thing I remember, really.
Yeah.
That seemed pretty easy with me.
Just battered them, didn't we? 'Cause it was really quite hot in the end, wasn't it, that day? Yeah.
That was 90 degrees.
Yeah.
But,
Final whistle comes, emotion. Yeah.
Let's get to the bar. I think that was it.
Walking up the steps, come on, walking up the steps to pick your trophy up.
Well, it sort of passes you by, really. And that's easy to sit and make up a few stories, but it's not totally true, I don't think. I think it goes past you. I mean, you know more about it, playing for England and things. What you feel like.
What, winning things? No. No, I can't remember that, no. Well, they've extended it now. It was the 39 steps, wasn't it? And now it's about 139 steps now. But no, it was great. I mean, as you were saying about the crowd was just brilliant.
Yeah.
This crowd was just brilliant. They were pretty silent, the Arsenal fans. And I was there in the stand. Russell obviously on the bench, and you were on the bench behind everyone.
Yeah, behind everybody. Yeah.
So he had a different view, but it was glory.
I remember Pat Rice coming on the bus afterwards as we were leaving and said, "We apologise, we didn't give you a game." So that shows you what it was like.
That's very kind of him.
That was really well. I think many would have done that, is it?
Well,
to be fair.
I probably wouldn't have said that.
No, but it's what he did.
He didn't say that you deserved to win it, just the fact that they were complete crap.
He said it in the right way, put it that way.
Oh, well, the right way for him.
Yeah.
We spoke about the lineup though last week with Walkie, didn't we? You know, with George, Millsy, onto Beattie, Brian Talbot, Walkie, Roger, and then the three lads up front. So Clive, Paul Marner, Dave Geddes. You know, so Dave Geddes would probably be the one that a lot of people forget in the lineup, or maybe even Roger, but they'll remember Roger because he scored.
Of the goal, yeah.
You know, and like the week before, we had a bit of a poor result against Aston Villa, didn't we?
Yeah, but that was the players not playing. This is what I was alluding to earlier on, isn't
I know
it?
you were.
Yeah, this is the players' revolt against Bobby, wasn't it? Yes.
That was against Colin Philjohn, wasn't it?
Right, yes. Because he'd picked Colin Vilge, or wanted him to play, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he'd been out all season with Achilles problems.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and so Bobby was trying to get him back in the team for the final, and didn't go down very well with some of the more senior lads.
Oh. I was lucky I was playing in the reserves to get fit.
Come on, Russ, give me a bit more. Come on.
Well, people like Dave Geddes, 19, I was 19, I think, at the time. We had a young lad, Paul Overton, making his debut in goal.
Yeah.
You know,
This is against Villa, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
against Villa, and he had a great game. I forget what the score, 6-1,
5 or 6.
5-6, something like that. We got battered. Well, we didn't get battered. We, for some reason, unbeknown to me, Dave Geddes and Paul Overton, the lads decided to show that their displeasure at the selection that the manager had made.
Paul Cooper wasn't injured. He just said he were. He weren't going to play, was he?
No. And basically, you know, it's all been forgotten about now, and people don't like it being mentioned, and some people say it never happened like that, so everything just moves on. But because of that result, things got changed in the second half. So Bobby went absolutely ballistic at half-time. Ballistic. And it was just puzzling, you know. I'm standing there watching what's going on, and, you know, lads overhead kicking the ball back to the goalkeeper from the halfway line. I'm thinking,
They're way ahead of their time.
so
Way ahead.
It was
But
one of those.
I remember as well,
days.
because I didn't go to the game. I didn't travel through. I was in the first floor club waiting for him to come back. So this is about 12 o'clock, 11, 12 o'clock. So I'm in there sort of thing, and I'm dying to know what happened to the team and all that sort of thing. So he comes in. I says, "How about the game? How about the game?" He says, "Stuff the game." He says, "I want a beer." He says, "There are lots of them." So he just got absolutely smashed. It was great. That was a highlight of that weekend, I think.
And so, because of that result and that performance, he changed the team for the final.
Yeah.
Back to where it was.
Back to where it should have been.
Yeah.
And it worked out right well,
Yeah.
didn't it?
All turned out right.
Yeah.
And he takes the credit for picking that team that won the FA Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and people won't remember that little story. Right, I'm just going to surprise you, Lammy, a bit now, because Pete's here. Come on, Pete, go over to this microphone here, because you remember this man when he was very young in the early 70s. don't you?
Yeah.
Indeed. In fact, we believe it was around about 69 that you joined.
His mum was my second landlady.
Your
Yeah.
mum was his landlady.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, just for a year or so. And you had a nickname for her very quickly, didn't
Butterfly.
you? There you go.
What was he like then
Yeah.
as a youngster? Did he behave himself?
Well, yeah, until he dragged me down the dog track off the London road for a bit at the age of 16, I think I was. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. For now, Mick Lambert, everybody. Don't forget to go onto our website if you want to be part of the capacity crowd. It's free beer and snacks, and also you can go onto the website and book your place at the end of season dinner, which is on May the 14th. That's www.lifesapitch.tv. Now it's time for Ask the Legends, sponsored by Seckford Golf Club. So, Simon's here from Seckford Golf Club, and Russell is still in the lead, although Terry is catching up. So, we've only got a few more episodes left to see if you can draw level, Terry, or even go ahead.
What is the score, Mark?
Score at the moment, well, I've written down here 15.5, 12.5.
Okay.
Is that about right?
No, I haven't got a
Feels
clue.
about right,
I haven't
doesn't
got a
it?
clue, to be honest, but I'll take that.
Feels about right. So, you are catching up. So, this week, Simon.
A visual as well for you.
Okay, which will work well on radio and podcast.
Absolutely. This is an official Matchday magazine programme of the 76-77 season, Division 1 against Tottenham, which Mick played in, and we won 3-1. Round of applause, everybody.
Yes.
Mick scored 2. You got 2, and George got the other one.
I wonder what you're doing for a minute, Mick, then, when you flicking the V's up. You got 2 goals, did you? Yeah.
But what is the question from this programme? How much was it?
Ooh.
My finger is covering the price at the moment, which is also good on radio.
It is, yeah. So, what was the season again?
So it's the 76-77 season against Tottenham.
Okay. How much was the programme? Nearest gets the point. You can help or hinder, Mick. Chambo. Were you alive then, Chambo? No. No.
I've got a rough idea. That was in
Terry's
shillings,
looking
then.
confident.
What was the currency? Was it in sterling
Shillings,
or?
then.
In
what?
pence.
Pence, yeah.
In pence.
Pence, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you think it could be? Going to have to push you for an answer,
that might
boys.
be right, 50.
You got one written down, Terry?
I have.
Excellent. Russell?
Yep, I have.
Okay. So, Lammy, who should go first?
Terry.
Terry.
Oh,
He's a
cheers.
star man.
Thank you. Well, I've just hazarded a guess, as my answers are always guesses. It's 30p.
30p. Okay. Russell?
£1.50.
£1.50.
£1.50.
Were you highlighted in the programme at all, Russell? Is that what you're thinking its value?
Chambo, just out of curiosity, what would you
What would
suggest?
you go for?
40p.
40p.
Yeah, I'll go
Lammy?
on 50p.
50p. Okay. The answer is?
15 pence.
Terry Butcher!
Terry Butcher. Well done, Terry.
I only had 1 naught too many.
You shouldn't put the extra naught on, Russ. So it's 15 and a half, 13 and a half. It's getting very close. Right, I don't know if we told you about this, Lammy, because you are quite a good all-round sports person, aren't you? When was the last time you played table football?
Never.
Well, now's your chance. It's time for our Table Footy Challenge, sponsored by Fred Olsen Logistics. So Russell and Terry will take up the usual positions. Lammy, you can pick somebody from the audience. Would you like someone from Churchman's or the North Stand to help you? Go on, Pete. Go on, Pete. You got to go over that side there, over the other side.
Only if I've got blue.
Go on. Get over there. Get over there. Go on, Lammy, around the other side. That's it. So you've got 60 seconds. Luke Chambers is in first place at the moment with 5 goals against our England legends. So you need to have 60 seconds to see how many goals you can score against our England legends. And we've kicked off. Oh, there's a lot of miskicking in midfield at the moment, but it is heading down towards a goal! 1-0 Mickey Lambert. Come on, 1-0. 1-0. Come on, 1-0 against Terry and Russell. Come on, Lammy. Come on, Pete and Lammy. Come on, cheer for him, everybody. Come on. Come on. Out from the back from Lammy. Pete. Oh, good save from the keeper. Still, oh, it's 1-1. It's 1-1. 30 seconds to go. Come on. Come on, Lammy and Pete. 2-1. 2-1 to Lammy and Pete. Well done, boys. Come on. 2-1. Come on, you can do this. Come on. Come on. Good save there from Lammy. Oh, shooting up the field. There's a lot of long ball play here. We're back to the 70s, clearly. Nearly a good shot there. Yeah! Oh, 2-2.
Right foot, would it?
Final score, 2-2. Well done, Lammy. Well done, Pete. Well done, Butch. Well done, Russell. Chambo still in the lead and had the lead all season long. All season long. Fantastic. Right. Time for On This Day in History, sponsored by Fred Olsen Logistics. Russell.
Okie dokie, on this day in history from Dan Botton's book, we're starting on a Monday the 16th of April 1973. A 1-1 draw at Bristol City was enough for Ipswich to win the FA Youth Cup for the first time. John Pedalty's goal ensured a 4-1 aggregate win. JP scoring.
There must be a printing error, surely.
That'll get back. Right, Wednesday the 16th of April 1975, Kevin Beattie made his England debut as Wembley witnessed a 5-0 crushing of Cyprus in a European Championship qualifier. Monday the 16th of April 1979, battling midfielder Sixto Peralta was born in Comodoro, Argentina. Signed on a year's loan from Inter Milan, Peralta became an instant hit with the town faithful due to his never-say-die attitude and eye for a goal. He set up Alan Armstrong's UEFA Cup winner against his employers in a famous Pullman Road victory. And just a little bit of a break from that here. Saturday the 17th of April 1976. It's a good omen here for the weekend. Ipswich notched a 4th successive league win over Arsenal, winning 2-1 at Highbury, thanks to goals from Irishman Pat Sharkey and Enfield-born Keith Burchin. And that's all from on this day. Thanks, Dan Button.
Yeah, let's talk about Arsenal then. Next opponents, Chambo.
Tough game ahead.
Yep.
Obviously, it's Premier League. I grew up as an Arsenal fan. My family are from Highbury, so. But when you play 20 years of football, you sort of lose allegiance a little
Half
bit.
and half
yeah.
scarf?
Oh yeah, we don't believe in that. Absolutely no way. No way. It's just exciting. Let's just take it for what it is. Watching some of the best players in the world. Hopefully tonight Arsenal will get the result, but come Sunday, I don't mind who wins.
Okay. But it's just nice to see. And we're just going to have to enjoy it.
It's amazing. Just enjoy it. Yeah.
Because we are still Premier League,
Enjoy
aren't
it.
we? So,
just give it a year off next year, and then we'll be back the year after.
Come back, yeah. Lammy, what do you think?
They may turn up with a slightly weaker team, especially if they win. And you never know then, do you?
No.
That's because I don't think they're that strong behind the first team, as you might say. So if they do bring 3 or 4 new ones in, you never know.
The thing is, don't give free kicks away near the goal, near the edge of the penalty area. And if you put up a bad wall, then someone's going to score. So, but they're unbeaten in their last 9. Town is 7-1 to win. So the bookies obviously not fancying that. Saka was sub last week, but it'd be lovely to see him play in terms of his quality. Because what we've done this year is we've been amazed at some of the talent, some of the players that have been against us. And whilst you're cheering your own team on, it's just this is the league to be in. This is
you want to see the best players.
You want to see the best players.
When you play in Arsenal, you don't want them to field a reserve team. Yes, we want to win the game, but ultimately you want to test yourself against those players massively.
I think we'll have a home win. We saw enough last week that going forward they have players that can create and can score goals and finish nicely, and we have spells in games where we do defend very, very well. But we just let ourselves down a bit where we have a moment's madness now and again. So hopefully we can put that to bed and pick up 3 points on Sunday, innit? 2 o'clock on Sunday. Yeah.
So optimistic with your score predictions. I love it, mate. I love it.
Well, he's so wrong, but I mean, he's
He's rubbish at it.
Not on about whether I'm right or wrong. He's optimistic.
Sorry.
The blind faith. I love it.
Just an observation.
Let's finish off with this week's Man v Fat results. The lads continued their good start to the season with an 11-kilogram group loss. This week it's all about Alex Hammond, who's now lost 30% of his body weight after shifting 7 stone.
Wow.
Let's give him a clap, mate.
Amazing.
Because Mark, you could say he's a pale shadow of himself.
You could, yes. This week's scores. The Sweaty Blue Tits, 6.
Yes.
OB City, 7.
Oh, no.
Kebabadine, 5. Athletic Gingivitis, 7. And Ips Chips Town, 8. RB Liposuction, 11.
Well said. Well said.
Thank you. Their end of the results for this week. Mickey Lambert, hasn't he been fantastic, everybody?
Yeah. Well done, Mickey.
Brilliant. Don't leave it so long next time. Thank you for coming on. It's great to have him on, isn't it? Great to have him on.
Yeah, get a phone.
Yeah, get a mobile so we can give you a call.
The wife's got one.
Chambo, thank you. Terry, thank you. Russell, thank you. Capacity Crowd, thank you very much. Don't forget, If you want to be part of the capacity crowd, then go to our website, lifesapitch.tv. But also, we've only got 4 weeks to sell out, and we do every time. Our end-of-season dinner. Loads of surprises that night, I can tell you. It's on the 14th of May, and it's at Venue 16. www.lifesapitch.tv to book those tickets right now. Don't miss out. You want to miss out on that. It'll be a fantastic night. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back next week, and our special guest next week, David Johnson, is with us next week. So, Jono, our special guest. But for now, Blue Army! 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 This has been a Life's a Pitch TV production. Main sponsor, DPS Tech. Also supported by Lakens, All About Hearing, Forward Floors, Ginger Pickle, Fred Olsen Logistics, The Dove, Seckford Golf Club, Ashford Wright, John Keeble Cars, Venue 16, The Hudson Group, Come Hither Design, Sound 4 Pro Audio, and Suffolk Sound. Our charities this year, Cancer Support Suffolk and the Ipswich Town Community Foundation.